This switch is down. Flashing green indicator on the dock with no picture. Can we fix it? Charge paddles to 200. Clear. No, it's still down. We're gonna have to operate. Alright, I got another Nintendo Switch that's broken to work on, so we're gonna open this up and check out the conditions, see what we can find. Alright, let's see what we got inside the box here. I was told that there's a green flashing light when it's docked. So we will open this up, see what it looks like. Alright, this is the console. It looks like it's in pretty good condition so far from what I can tell. Let's check the back. It still has the kickstand. That's unusual. Kickstand's a different color though, so I believe it has been replaced. And are we missing screws? It looks like we're missing screws, and it looks bent. Let's look at the USB port under the microscope now. Check both sides. I don't see anything that looks out of order here. No noticeable corrosion. All the pins look like they're in place. I've disconnected the battery. I've not tried to power this device on yet because I want to verify that there's no short that I could potentially make things worse by applying power to the device with it shorted. Anyway, we're going to use this breakout board. I have a new automated tester. It's by a brand called Mechanic on the way. But for now, this does the job. It's just a little bit more work. Basically, A1 and A12, B1 and B12 are ground. So we're going to put our red probe on ground and check in diode mode to the other pins, comparing to known good values that I took before. Alright, so let's check it out. Alright, first let's get the meter ready. Let's turn the dial over here to the ohms, resistance, and diode check selector. And then we have to push the mode button to get into diode check, which you can tell when the diode symbol is on the meter, you're ready to go. I'll put it right here so we can see the values. Like I said, we're going to put the red probe on ground. So I'm going to use A12. And then I'm going to go from there to the other pins. I'm going to skip over A1 because we know what that is. It's ground. Okay, A2's open line. A3's open line. A4's 0.468. Let me turn the light on. You'll just be able to see the readings as I do them. 5. A6. 7. A8. A8. I think there's a problem here. I don't ever remember seeing 0 as normal. A9. A10. A11. Alright, so A2 and A3, 10 and 11 are typically open line. There's something going on with this A8. I've already checked the other side and it's exactly the same on the B side. B8 is shorted to ground, or closely shorted to ground in diode check. We probably need to investigate where that goes and try to fix whatever short we have in here before we power it up. Now let's check the pins on the circuit board that we can see. There's a hidden set of pins more toward the middle that we can't really visually check, but the ones that I can see look alright. The water damage indicator is not set off, so that's a good sign. I'm trying to get the lighting a little bit better right now. sometimes with these microscopes, it's difficult to get the lighting to where you can read the chip, the printing on the chips, and see things. But sometimes you do want that light to really wash out the board to bring out more detail on the solder joints. Yeah, I'm going to try a different lighting method here. This gets a lot better, I think. Yeah. All right, let's just go over the board and see if we notice anything out of place. I don't know if that was a scratch or reflection on the board up by the M92 chip. So far, now this capacitor here looks a little crooked to me, but that may be normal just from factory. Really, the circuit board looks like it's in good condition. I don't see any corrosion. Everything seems to be in place. We'll check out the back side after we get done looking at this. Now I get to break out the Wow Stick. This is a really great tool by a company called IFU. All different types of bits that you could ever want included in this kit, and it's a USB powered driver. I think the reason how it got the name Wow Stick is by the sound that it makes, but I don't know for sure. I'll have to look that up. It's really cool though. Makes removing multiple screws a lot easier and faster. Alright, let's do some continuity checks to ground on our capacitors to see if we can isolate where the short is coming from. Right now I have the BQ chip pulled up. We should typically get a beep on one side and not the other. That one is checking okay, but there's a weird, like a burn mark right here. So we may need to investigate this further later. Let's get this other cap here. There's nothing on that one, but that might be normal. Okay, let's see if we missed anything here. Yeah, it's all good. Seems pretty good around the BQ chip. Let's go up here to the M92 chip. Now I noticed something that's a little odd to me. All the components that should be capacitors, like on this board, when I compare to another board, same area, the color is totally different. They're like a brown, like tan color here. And on this board we're having issues with right now, the components are like a gray color. So I'm not so sure. I think they may have all taken some heat, but I don't know for sure. Let's check, see what we get with our continuity check. Alright, that one's reading shorted out. If I remember right, this is the one that could be the CPU. I don't know for sure though. One of these goes to the video chip. I'll have to look into it a little more. That one's not shorted. This one is. Let's go up a little more. Check these over here. That one seems okay. That one's shorted. Or partially shorted at least. Yeah, these are about everything around this M92 chip looks terrible. I think what I'm going to do is start by pulling the M92. One other thing I want to check is the capacitor around the video P13 USB chip right here. See what kind of condition we're in with it. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be shorted here. I've already checked all these filters. If you want to see one checked, we'll go through it. Should not have continuity on these pins this way. But we should get continuity through straight across to the other side. I checked diagonals too to make sure there's no weird short that should not be there. Wait a minute, that's weird. Why am I getting that? Ah, interesting. Let me make sure I don't have a pin on my meter touching something that it shouldn't be. Let's go back to that. Where is it? Right here. Okay. All right, so it was a second inductor pack here. Oh, it's okay. I think I was laid across that other cap with my meter lead earlier. All right. Should beep here, not beep there. Yeah, inductors all look good. These filters all go out to send the video out, I believe. So basically what I think is going on is the M92 chip is completely shorted out. So I'm going to pull the M92 and then check the capacitors again, see if they read any better. And especially I'm interested in this one here, if the problem goes away there, because if not, we may have an even worse issue. All right, I'll come back after I pop the chip off. All right, currently I'm at a stopping point with this Nintendo Switch repair. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fix it at this time, but I'm not giving up on it. What I have found is that I have two shorted lines, basically, the 1V8 and the 1V3. It looks like they're both generated from VSys. I don't have a short on VSys, but these two lines are both shorted. I've already pulled off the M92, which cleared several of the shorts around the M92 chip, but I still have the one main short that I can't clear that's on the 1V8 on this capacitor down here that usually goes to the CPU. So yeah, I'm hoping it's not a bad CPU and it's just a component somewhere that I haven't found yet, but it's not looking good. I pulled the BQ chip as well, no difference. I took off the Max 77620 back here, and I still have the shorts. So I'll show you with the meter. Let me set up the camera on a stand. So the 1V8 is up here. It goes down to about 0.4 ohms. I'm going to check the 1V0. Oh, yeah, it's 1V0 is the other short that I had. Alright, so both voltages 1V8 and 1V0 go to the CPU. So I may have to start pulling capacitors from, around this CPU area, see if I get lucky and it's just a capacitor. But for right now, I'm going to have to call it a no fix for today, unfortunately. I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow. I may inject voltage onto those lines and see if anything heats up. That may be something that I can do. Last time I didn't have any success with that though, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.